She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
A shocking story has taken over the news, one that feels like it's out of a movie. People are saying that Queen Camilla and King Charles have been blamed for Princess Diana's death. For years, many have wondered what really happened to Princess Diana, a kind and beloved woman who touched the hearts of millions. Her passing left the world sad and full of questions. Now there's news that the King and Queen might be in big trouble for what happened to her. Some believe they played a part in the accident that took her life, and it has led to them being punished. This is a huge moment because it makes people wonder what will happen to the royal family now. The world is watching closely, shocked and curious, as this unbelievable story unfolds. Could this be the end of the royal family as we know it? Will the truth finally come out after so many years? The mystery of Princess Diana's tragic end has returned, and it feels like the world is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. The secret investigation. Now, imagine this. It's been years since Diana's tragic death. The world has moved on, or at least, that's what everyone believed. But suddenly, out of nowhere, a storm breaks loose. One evening, a mysterious video leaks online. At first, people think it's fake. It's grainy, shaky, looks like an old secret recording. But what's in that video leaves everyone speechless. It shows a secret meeting that no one was ever supposed to see. There's a man who looks shockingly like King Charles. He's younger in the video. There's also Camilla, sitting quietly in the corner, listening. A man dressed like a British agent talks about removing threats to the royal family. And right there, the name Diana is mentioned. The internet explodes. News channels pick it up. Suddenly everyone's eyes are back on that dark night in Paris. Could it be that Diana's death wasn't just an accident after all? Soon, more shocking evidence starts to surface. Old CCTV footage from the tunnel appears. Footage that was supposedly destroyed years ago. But here it is, showing a mysterious black car tailing Diana's vehicle. Whistleblowers from MI6 come forward, shaking with fear, claiming they were forced to stay silent all these years. One of them confesses, "We were told this was for the good of the country." Digital forensics teams jump in. They dig up hidden letters Diana wrote. Letters where she feared for her life. She even wrote, "They are planning something, and I know who's behind it." Her words send chills down everyone's spine. DNA tests, bank transactions, and secret recordings all start to form a terrifying picture. Slowly but surely, the dots begin to connect. And shockingly, they lead right to Charles and Camilla. The world watches in disbelief. Headlines scream, "Diana's murder mystery. The royals involved?" Crowds gather outside Buckingham Palace. People chant Diana's name. The world's most famous family is now facing its darkest hour. The royal trial. And then, something happens no one thought possible. The British government announces a royal trial. For the first time in history, a reigning king and queen are being dragged to court for murder. The trial becomes the biggest event the world has ever seen. Cameras flash as Charles and Camilla arrive at the courthouse. Their faces pale, eyes heavy with guilt or maybe fear. Streets overflow with angry crowds holding posters of Diana. Some cry, some scream, and some just stand frozen, unable to believe their eyes. Inside the courtroom, shocking witnesses take the stand. Former royal aides, once loyal to the crown, now speak the truth. They describe secret meetings in the palace, hidden conversations, and orders given in hushed voices. One of the Queen's former bodyguards wipes his tears as he says, "I was told to follow Diana, to report every move. I didn't know it would lead to this." Next, a former MI6 officer steps forward. He reveals secret files, proof that the agency was ordered to watch Diana, record her, and if needed, get rid of her. The courtroom gasps. The prosecution plays a hidden audio recording. It's crackly but clear enough. A voice, eerily similar to Charles, says, "It has to be done. She's a danger to us all." Gasps fill the air. Camilla's face turns ghost white. The financial records come next. huge sums of money moving in and out of secret accounts, payments to agents, cars, even the very hotel where Diana stayed that night. Every piece of evidence adds another nail to the royal coffin. Outside, the nation is divided. Some still believe in the monarchy. Others demand justice for Diana. Protests break out across the country. Monarchists clash with those shouting for the royal family to be abolished. And then comes the final blow. Diana's old friend takes the stand. Tears fall as she shares a conversation they had just weeks before Diana's death. She told me she was scared. She said, if anything happens to me, look at them. Look at Charles and Camilla. The courtroom falls silent. It's no longer just a case. It's history being made. The verdict: guilty. Finally, after weeks of shocking testimonies, the world holds its breath as the jury returns. The judge looks down, voice trembling slightly, and says the words no one thought they'd ever hear. We, the jury, find King Charles and Queen Camilla guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, abuse of power, and obstruction of justice. For a moment, the entire courtroom is frozen. Then gasps, screams, and even cheers erupt. The judge announces the sentence. For your crimes, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. If the crown wishes, you may instead choose exile, never to return to this land again. Charles lowers his head. Camilla is seen wiping her tears, but it's too late. The damage is done. The monarchy, once the pride of Britain, is shattered in front of the entire world. Reactions pour in fast. Prince William and Prince Harry, once divided by oceans and grudges, sit side by side in the front row, their faces unreadable. Meghan Markle is seen comforting Harry, while Kate wipes her tears. It's a scene no one will ever forget. Outside, people cry, some in pain, some in joy. A woman holds up a picture of Diana and says, "Finally, she gets her justice." The monarchy, as the world knew it, is over. Global reactions and collapse of the monarchy news spreads like wildfire. Every corner of the earth is talking about it. World leaders come forward. Some express shock, others relief. The once golden image of the British royal family is now stained forever. Commonwealth countries waste no time. Australia, Canada, and others begin serious talks to remove the British monarch as their head of state. Some countries even vote right there and then. The message is clear. The crown no longer rules here. The UK streets are filled with protests. Some march with Diana's pictures, some chant her name, and some demand the country become a republic. The British flag flies half-mast, but not for the king, for the end of an era. For weeks, headlines dominate newspapers, social media, and every television screen. End of the Windsor era. The words stare back at millions every morning. Suddenly, Diana's story comes back to life. Documentaries air, new books are written, and old interviews resurface. There are even talks of posthumously declaring Diana a saint, a symbol of kindness, grace, and the people's princess forever. The nation reflects, heartbroken yet relieved. Justice has finally been served. Where are King Charles and Camilla now? So, where did King Charles and Queen Camilla go after it all ended? Reports say they chose exile. No one knows exactly where, but rumors swirl like wildfires. Some say they were sent to a secret castle in the middle of nowhere, guarded by soldiers, far away from the eyes of the world. Others believe they're locked away in a hidden royal prison, stripped of their titles, their luxuries, and their power. Years later, a secret interview surfaces. It shows a frail, older Charles. His once proud face now looks tired, worn out by guilt and regret. He whispers, "I thought I was protecting the crown, but I destroyed it." Camilla, pale and broken, is seen staring out of a dusty window. "We lost everything," she says. "Was it worth it? I don't even know anymore." Some people believe they deserve worse. Others think rotting away in loneliness is punishment enough. And somewhere, in the heart of London, stands a giant statue of Diana. Flowers cover its base every single day. Children run around it, laughing. Old women sit beside it, praying. The world remembers her not as a victim, but as the princess who won, even in death. And just like that, the story comes full circle. The mighty royals, once untouchable, are now just a memory. A warning to everyone that no power, no throne, no crown is greater than the truth. Karma took its time, but in the end, justice found its way. And Diana? She didn't just live forever in people's hearts. She became a legend, the princess who never needed a crown to rule the world. If you found this video thought-provoking, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our updates on this and other important stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think really happened? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Well, I mean, I am extremely concerned. Again, I was trying to outline a 10-point action plan.
For years, the secret remained locked away, hidden in the shadows of the royal family's tightly guarded walls. A secret so powerful, it could change everything. King Charles, a monarch with a life shaped by public expectation, carried a truth that few could ever fathom. Beneath the crown and the grandeur, there was a bond that he was forced to keep in the dark. His son, a child whose very existence threatened to unravel the delicate fabric of royalty. But why? What drove a king to hide his own flesh and blood? The story behind this secret is one of love, sacrifice, and the unimaginable choices that come with wearing a crown. This is the untold truth of why King Charles had to keep his son a secret. Who is the son? The story of King Charles and his alleged secret son is one shrouded in mystery. Many have wondered, who is this child that was kept hidden from the public for so long? Well, the details around this secret son remain unclear and largely speculative, with a mix of rumors and half-truths that have spread over the years. However, one of the most prominent claims is that the child is from an affair that King Charles had during the 1980s. Some reports suggest that the child was born out of an affair King Charles had with a woman who was not Princess Diana or Camilla Parker Bowles. Yet, despite the rumors, there has never been any official confirmation of the son's identity. What we do know is that this child was allegedly kept away from the public eye, and any trace of him was wiped from the royal family's official history. While the exact details about the son are hard to pin down, speculation has linked the child to King Charles's earlier years when he was already married to Diana, or even earlier when his relationship with Camilla was less public. For some, the idea of a secret son is not entirely shocking, given the royal family's long history of maintaining a certain image and protecting their personal lives from public scrutiny. But why would a member of the royal family, particularly someone as high profile as King Charles, choose to keep a child in the shadows? What could possibly be the reason for such secrecy? Why was he kept a secret? The question of why this son was kept a secret is both complex and, in many ways, heartbreaking. King Charles, like all members of the royal family, was bound by the unspoken rules of monarchy, where image and reputation are everything. The royal family's primary concern is maintaining an image of perfection. Royal protocol dictates that every action, every word, and even every relationship be carefully controlled to ensure there is no scandal. A royal scandal, especially one involving an illegitimate child, could threaten the very foundation of the monarchy. For Charles, revealing the existence of a son born out of an affair could have been disastrous. It would have brought intense media scrutiny, undermined his already strained relationship with Princess Diana, and sparked public outrage. The British monarchy is an institution built on tradition, and any deviation from that tradition is viewed as a threat. A secret child could have complicated the line of succession and the delicate balance of power within the royal family. Beyond the public image, there was also the issue of security. Royals live under constant threat, and a child, especially one with a questionable background, could have been vulnerable. In a world where the media would go to extreme lengths to dig into personal matters, exposing the son's existence could have endangered both him and his family. So, keeping the child a secret seemed to be the only logical option for King Charles and the royal family. It allowed them to shield themselves from the harsh glare of the media and protect their public persona at all costs. The story of concealment. But how did King Charles go about hiding this son? The royal family is known for its ability to keep secrets, and this one was no exception. The story of concealment is as much about strategy as it is about secrecy. First, it's important to understand that royal lives are not like ordinary lives. Members of the royal family have access to vast resources, including personal security teams and staff who are sworn to secrecy. The child's birth, if indeed it happened, was likely kept under tight wraps. He could have been raised far away from the public eye, perhaps in another country or under the guise of a distant relative. What is even more fascinating is the fact that King Charles could have continued his life as though nothing had happened. His public appearances, interviews, and royal duties were all unaffected. The child was likely kept hidden from the media, and any records relating to his existence were sealed. Perhaps even those closest to King Charles and the royal family never knew about this secret. Despite the level of secrecy, the question remains, why take such measures? King Charles had to know that the truth would eventually come out. The longer the secret remained hidden, the more difficult it would be to keep it under wraps. But for him, the cost of revealing the truth may have been far greater than the cost of concealment. Reasons behind the secret. The royal family's reputation is everything. They are not just public figures. They represent an institution that has stood for centuries. Every member of the family is expected to act with the utmost decorum and to maintain a flawless image at all times. A scandal involving an illegitimate child would have been catastrophic, especially at a time when the royal family was already under intense public scrutiny. The monarchy's ability to remain in power is directly tied to how it is perceived by the public. Any scandal, no matter how small, could shake public confidence in the royal family. And for King Charles, who had already faced significant challenges in his personal life, this secret son could have been the tipping point. An affair, a secret child, and the potential for a broken marriage all painted a picture that the royal family could not afford to make public. The monarchy was going through enough turmoil with the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage, and the idea of a hidden child would have been too much to bear. The political consequences of revealing such a secret would have been immense. As the heir to the British throne, King Charles' actions could have directly affected the monarchy's future. A secret child could have complicated the line of succession, especially if there were doubts about the child's legitimacy or place in the royal family. If the secret son were to be revealed and accepted into the royal fold, it could have created a conflict with other heirs. Would the child have had a claim to the throne? Would there have been a struggle for power within the royal family? These are questions that would have undermined the stability of the monarchy and could have had serious constitutional ramifications. At the time, the royal family needed unity, not division. Exposing such a secret could have jeopardized that unity, threatening the stability of the monarchy for generations. King Charles's personal life was far from straightforward. His marriage to Princess Diana was fraught with tension, and his affair with Camilla Parker Bowles was widely known and discussed by the media. But even beyond these well-documented issues, there were personal feelings at play. King Charles's decision to keep the son a secret may have been influenced by a desire to protect his family, and particularly his children. Revealing the existence of another child, especially one from a relationship outside of his marriage to Diana, would have caused further strain between him and his children, William and Harry. There was also the matter of his own emotional state. Charles was under enormous pressure, both from his public duties and from his personal life. Keeping this secret might have been an effort to maintain some semblance of control in a life that felt increasingly out of his hands. The hidden child's life and impact. The life of the secret son, assuming he existed, would have been one of extreme secrecy. Raised away from the public eye, he would have likely been kept away from the royal spotlight entirely. While there are no confirmed details about his upbringing, it's possible that he was given a private education, shielded from the intense media attention that the royal family often faces. His life would have been vastly different from that of his half-siblings, William and Harry. Unlike them, he would have been kept hidden, with no public appearances or official titles. It's even possible that he grew up unaware of his true parentage, given the strict measures the royal family would have taken to keep the secret. Being kept a secret would have undoubtedly taken a toll on the child, especially as he grew older. The knowledge that his existence was concealed from the world could have led to feelings of isolation and confusion. Would he have ever learned the truth about his father? And how would that knowledge have shaped his relationship with King Charles, his family, and even the British public? The emotional strain of living in secrecy cannot be underestimated. For a child who was denied the opportunity to know his father fully, the psychological impact could have been profound. How did the child cope with growing up without public recognition or connection to the royal family? The royal family is known for its strong public image, but behind the scenes, their relationships are not always as perfect as they appear. Keeping such a secret could have strained the dynamics within the family. King Charles's relationships with his children, William and Harry, would have likely been affected by the knowledge of a secret child. How did they feel about the secrecy? And what did it mean for their relationship with their father? These are questions that remain unanswered, but the impact on the family's closeness and trust would have been undeniable. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden truths and untold stories. There's always more to discover. King Charles and Queen Camilla's forbidden love affair started from friendship, which eventually led to marriage, despite the controversies surrounding their relationship. Some of these controversies also revolve around Camilla's status as the future queen. But now, King Charles has made an announcement about Camilla's position in the palace, which could potentially change her status. This would lead to several questions about the future of the royal family. What is this announcement? And how exactly does it affect the future of the royal family? Join us as we reveal the huge announcement that King Charles made about Queen Camilla, the royal announcement. King Charles has just made an announcement regarding Queen Camilla, which has stirred a lot of reactions from both the royal family and the public. This announcement brought about a lot of changes in the role Camilla has to play within the monarchy. This announcement further established her title as Queen Consort and her growing responsibilities alongside Charles. In his statement, King Charles emphasized his commitment to supporting Camilla as she continues her royal duties. This decision is important not only as a personal acknowledgement of their marriage, but also as a strategic move to redefine the monarchy in the public eye. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022, the royal family underwent a significant transition. Prince Charles, her eldest son and the longest-serving heir apparent, immediately ascended the throne as King Charles III, marking a significant shift after decades of Queen Elizabeth's reign. This change brought in a fresh perspective and approach within the royal family. With King Charles now at the helm, Camilla was formally acknowledged as Queen Consort, highlighting her crucial role alongside him. This important moment is indicated by Charles's emphasis on service and community engagement, to silence the sentiments shared during his early years of public life. The couple's focus on charitable initiatives is evident, with Camilla actively championing causes like domestic violence awareness and literacy programs. Their joint efforts reflect a major shift in how the royal family engages with the public. The couple has made significant strides in fostering a more relatable and approachable image. You will not believe the reaction of the public. Keep following. The public reactions to the announcement have been positive, with many praising Camilla's dedication to her royal duties and charitable work. Her ability to connect with people from various backgrounds has played a critical role in reshaping her public image. Furthermore, their marriage shows a modern monarchy that acknowledges past controversies while looking toward the future. Also, the media reactions to this news is quite fascinating, as the opinions and comments varied. Supporters applaud this as a sign of progressive leadership, acknowledging Camilla's growth and her contributions to various causes. However, critics remained skeptical, pointing to the history of their relationship and the controversies that have surrounded it in the past. Among the royal experts, discussions emerged about whether this move would solidify Camilla's place in the monarchy, or if the public would continue to contend with her controversial past. As royal analysts analyzed the situation, they noted that this could mark a turning point for the monarchy. Many believe that Charles's decision reflects a desire to modernize the royal image, moving away from the old perceptions that have plagued the family. Peradventure, the implications of this announcement will pave the way for a new era in royal history. It is a notable interest that the public opinion has shifted dramatically over the past 2 decades. Polls indicate a growth in 2017, during an important moment at a public engagement where Camilla spoke candidly about her experiences with domestic abuse, which solidified her commitment to raising awareness about such critical issues. This authenticity proved vital in shifting public perceptions. Interestingly, Her marriage to Charles allowed her to represent the modern royal pattern, harmonizing tradition with progressive values. As the couple's love story grew, their dedication to environmental causes gained momentum, with Charles often highlighting Camilla's support in his speeches. Together, they began to represent a new era for the monarchy, one that focused on compassion and service. The acceptance of the monarchy, particularly among younger generations, who value the authenticity and engagement of their leaders. Charles and Camilla's marriage is now seen as a testament to love's endurance, a narrative that matches with a society increasingly prioritizing emotional connections. The implications of this announcement are profound. Will Charles and Camilla continue to change the narrative of the monarchy's role in British life? As they take on more significant responsibilities, their marriage will set the tone for future generations of royals. The challenge lies in balancing tradition with the expectations of a diverse and evolving public. As King Charles and Queen Camilla embark on this new chapter, they carry with them the hopes of a nation ready for change. Their story is one of resilience, love, and the promise of a modern monarchy that embraces the complexities of contemporary life. The royal couple's vision may not only uphold their legacy, but also inspire a renewed connection between the monarchy and the British people. As they take on greater responsibilities, there is a sense of anticipation about the impact their leadership will have on future generations of royals and the evolving nature of the British monarchy. King Charles's bold decision regarding Queen Camilla has altered the way of the royal family. The love story of the amazing British couple did not start out of the blues, as there was backlash and controversies behind their sweet story. How did their love grow over the years? Keep watching to find out. Camilla's past and royal connections. Love is generally believed to be a beautiful thing. It is a thing of joy when a couple recounts their love story. The story of King Charles and Queen Camilla began long before their marriage, tracing back to their early years. Their connection, which began in the early 1970s, sparked a relationship that would come to symbolize both resilience and controversy. At a polo match, the young Charles first met Camilla Shand, a spirited woman with a distinct charm that captivated him. Little did they know that this chance encounter would lay the groundwork for a complex relationship filled with both joy and heartache. Camilla Rosemary Shand was born on July 17, 1947, into an upper-middle class in King's College Hospital, London. Her parents, Major Bruce Shand and Rosalind Cubitt, welcomed their second child into a family steeped in British aristocracy. Her upbringing was relatively privileged. She attended prestigious schools, including Queensgate School and the University of London, where she studied English. This background provided her with a strong foundation, and influences became pivotal in shaping her character. Growing up in a society that valued lineage, she developed a keen understanding of her social environment. When she crossed paths with Prince Charles, then the heir to the British throne, their instant connection could not be hidden. Their paths first crossed in the early 1970s, at a polo match, where mutual friends facilitated their introduction. The chemistry was immediate, and they quickly became inseparable. Yet, as the public later came to know, their burgeoning romance was fraught with complications. Camilla's marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973 added an additional layer of complexity to their connection, leading to public speculation and scrutiny. Their marriage seemed conventional on the surface, but the reality was far more complicated. At this point, the pressures of royal life began to shape their relationship. Charles, who was bound by the expectations of duty and tradition, found himself torn between his feelings for Camilla and his obligation to marry a suitable royal bride. As their friendship endured through the years, the world watched, often through the lens of scandal. Their bond, characterized by mutual affection and understanding, provided a sanctuary amid the relentless glare of the media. As expected between lovers, especially a first love, the relationship between the two was hard to detach. Despite her marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles, the bond between Charles and Camilla remained strong. Their friendship continued, characterized by secretive meetings and shared confidences, often fueling speculation and rumors. While Charles pursued a courtship with Lady Diana Spencer in the 1980s, the dynamics between the three became increasingly complicated. As the press began to dissect the royal family's every move, Camilla was often depicted as the villain in a tragic love story. The media's portrayal of her as the other woman solidified her status as a target for public scorn. And amidst the chaos, her friendship with Charles persisted, demonstrating an unwavering connection that defied societal expectations. The unsettled relationship between Charles and Diana further complicated the narrative. The 1981 wedding was celebrated as a fairy tale, but behind closed doors, the marriage was rife with discord. Diana's struggles with mental health and the pressures of royal life were well documented. Meanwhile, the whispers about Camilla's enduring presence in Charles's life grew louder. Here's where it gets interesting. While Diana was viewed as the perfect royal match, Camilla remained a constant in Charles's life, showcasing a connection that neither time nor circumstance could sever. Notably, it was during this period that Camilla's resilience began to shine, as she navigated the challenges of love in the public eye. Ultimately, their enduring connection laid the groundwork for a partnership that would withstand the test of time and societal expectations. As Charles and Diana's marriage unraveled, public interest in Camilla only intensified. Following the couple's separation in 1992 and subsequent divorce in 1996, Camilla became a fixture in the tabloids. The narrative spun around her was often unflattering, as she was painted as the woman who disrupted a fairy tale. Yet, what is often overlooked is the genuine affection that had developed between Charles and Camilla over the years. Their bond was not just rooted in romance, but also in a deep understanding and respect for one another. As public opinion continued to shift, their relationship faced new challenges, and as history records, their paths would intertwine in ways no one could have anticipated. Did the love story end here? How did Camilla become accepted despite challenges? Let's look into that. Camilla's royal redemption. As Charles and Camilla's relationship became public, the couple faced intense scrutiny from both the media and the public. Following the separation of Charles and Diana in 1992, and later their divorce in 1996, Camilla became the target of relentless criticism. The press labeled her the other woman, and this title haunted her throughout the late 1990s. She faced a number of backlash, as Camilla had to endure a lot of words during this period. However, a significant shift began in the early 2000s when Charles took decisive steps to reframe their narrative. In 2005, they married in a civil ceremony, marking a watershed moment in their relationship. The marriage signified not only their commitment to each other, but also a major move to reshape Camilla's public image. With the media often portraying her negatively, the royal couple set out to change the narrative of how they were seen. As the years passed after their marriage, Queen Camilla underwent a profound transformation in the eyes of the public.
She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
The courtroom is silent. Everyone is watching, waiting. Then, something shocking happens. Queen Camilla's face turns pale. Her hands shake. Before anyone can react, she falls to the floor. Gasps fill the room. People jump up from their seats. Judges, lawyers, security, everyone is in shock. Just moments ago, she had stood there, waiting to hear her punishment. But as soon as the judge spoke, everything changed. The words hit her like a heavy weight. Her eyes widened, her body swayed, and then she collapsed. Guards rush to her side. Some people whisper, others just stare. What was said in that courtroom? What kind of sentence was so shocking that it made the queen fall? The truth behind this moment is something no one saw coming. How did Queen Camilla end up in court? The story of how Queen Camilla ended up in court is truly shocking. It left the whole nation stunned. For years there had been whispers, small rumors in the air about royal money being spent where it shouldn't. But no one ever expected it to blow up like this. It all started with leaked documents. These papers didn't just come out of nowhere. They were leaked by someone who used to work inside the palace. The documents showed that millions of pounds from the royal funds were being used for personal luxuries, not just normal shopping or gifts, but private jets, secret holidays, and even hush money to cover up past royal scandals. One of the biggest shocks was that the money trail led straight to Queen Camilla. People had always joked about her love for the finer things, but now there was proof. Some claimed she knew about it, others said she didn't. But one thing was clear. This scandal was too big to hide. The public was furious. The cost of living was already hitting everyone hard. Families were struggling to buy groceries, pay bills, and survive. And here was the Queen Consort, using public funds like her own piggy bank. The anger grew every day. Protesters stood outside Buckingham Palace with signs that read, "Not with our money." The media had a field day. Every news channel, every newspaper, every social media platform was full of updates about Camilla's scandal. Every hour brought a new leak or a shocking twist. People couldn't stop watching. The British people felt betrayed, and the pressure on the royal family was at an all-time high. What made things worse was the fact that royals rarely face legal action. The last time the public saw a royal facing legal trouble was when Prince Andrew got caught up in a serious scandal. But even then, the family managed to protect him. This time, however, it was different. The evidence was too strong, and the people were too angry. There was no way out. The case had to go to court. The courtroom drama. The day of the trial felt like a movie. People gathered outside the court from early morning, holding signs and chanting. Reporters from all over the world were there, trying to get a glimpse of the Queen as she walked in. Everyone wanted to see her face. Would she look scared? Would she even show up? As the clock hit 9 a.m., the doors of the courtroom opened. Cameras flashed like crazy, and there she was, Queen Camilla. She wore a black dress and dark sunglasses. Her face was pale, and her lips tight. She didn't smile. She didn't wave. She just walked straight in, ignoring the crowd. But one thing was clear. King Charles was not with her. People noticed. It spoke louder than words. The air inside the courtroom was heavy. You could feel the tension. The prosecution was ready. They laid out every piece of evidence they had. Photos, receipts, bank records, all showing how money meant for charity and public projects had been used for Camilla's personal pleasures. Private island holidays, designer clothes, secret deals, everything was out in the open now. And then came the biggest twist. Statements from palace staff. People who had worked for the Queen stood in front of everyone and spoke. They talked about how they were asked to cover things up. They talked about the threats they received when they refused. One former staff member, with tears in her eyes, said, "We were told to stay silent or lose our jobs. We were scared." Camilla's defense team tried their best. They painted her as a woman who was just a victim of palace politics. They argued that she didn't know where the money was coming from. They said she simply trusted the wrong people. Her lawyer even said, Her Majesty only did what she thought was best for the crown. She never meant to harm anyone. But the damage was done. The court had heard too much. The people had seen too much. Deep down, even Camilla knew. This was not going to end well. The verdict and sentencing. After days of arguments, witness statements, and countless evidence being shown, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. The courtroom went silent as the judge prepared to deliver the verdict. Cameras zoomed in. Reporters held their breath. Even outside the court, people stood frozen, waiting. The judge began by recapping the case. He spoke about the years of misuse of funds, the lies, and the cover-ups. His voice was cold, firm, and full of disappointment. Then came the words that shook the entire nation. Her Majesty Queen Camilla is found guilty of the charges presented. Gasps echoed across the courtroom. Some cried, others clapped, and then the sentence was announced. Queen Camilla was fined millions of pounds. But that wasn't all. She was sentenced to 2 years of house arrest inside a royal estate. She was also stripped of several royal titles. From that day forward, she would no longer be known as Her Majesty in any official capacity. The camera zoomed in on Camilla's face. Her eyes filled with tears. She looked lost, broken, and humiliated. And then, right there in front of everyone, Camilla collapsed. Her body went limp as she fainted. Gasps filled the courtroom. Reporters shouted. Medical staff rushed in, trying to revive her. Outside, the scene was wild. Protesters cheered. They screamed, "Justice! Finally justice!" But not everyone was happy. Loyal royal supporters stood in tears, clutching pictures of Camilla and the king. It was a moment no one would ever forget. International media jumped on the story. Headlines all over the world screamed, "Queen collapses in court after sentence." The royal family's darkest day was now playing live on every TV screen across the globe. Royal family's response. As news of Camilla's collapse spread, all eyes turned to Buckingham Palace. Everyone wanted to know, how was King Charles reacting? Hours later, a royal spokesperson read out a statement from the king. His words were full of sadness. "My wife is a victim of circumstance. She has been treated unfairly. We will stand by her." But behind the scenes, rumors told a different story. Insiders claimed King Charles was furious, not just angry, but embarrassed that the woman he loved had dragged the monarchy through the mud. Things got worse when Prince William and Prince Harry reacted. William stayed silent, avoiding reporters, but sources close to him said he was heartbroken and disappointed. Harry, on the other hand, couldn't resist. Meghan posted a cryptic message on Instagram that read, "Karma always knows where to find you." Fans went wild. Was it aimed at Camilla? Many believed it was. Inside the palace, chaos broke out. Senior royal advisors held emergency meetings. Damage control plans were made. The royal family knew they were standing on thin ice. One wrong move, and the monarchy itself could fall. In another statement, the palace promised full cooperation with the law. But the truth was, they were scared. Scared of what this meant for the future. Impact on the monarchy. The impact of the scandal was bigger than anyone could have imagined. Overnight, public support for the royal family dropped. Polls showed shocking results. More than half the country now wanted the monarchy abolished. People were tired. Tired of scandals, tired of secrets, tired of paying for royal luxuries while they struggled to live. Talks began in Parliament about cutting royal funding. Why should taxpayers' money go to a family that misused it? The anger was real, and it was growing every day. The scandal didn't just stop in the UK. Commonwealth countries like Australia and Canada started asking tough questions. Was it time to break ties with the British monarchy? Could they really stand by a royal family involved in such corruption? For Camilla, the future looked bleak. People wondered, would she ever be seen in public again? Could she survive this? Rumors spread that she might lose her queen title forever. Some even said the king was considering exile, sending Camilla away to a private estate far from the public eye. The fairy tale was over. What was left was a royal family in ruins. The aftermath, and what's next. In the days that followed, updates about Camilla's health started to come out. She was recovering at a private estate, far from the cameras. Some sources claimed she was heartbroken. Others said she barely spoke. The once powerful queen consort was now a prisoner in her own palace. Whispers of divorce started floating around. People wondered if King Charles could really stay married to someone who brought so much shame to the crown. But the palace stayed silent, at least for now. Camilla's legal team hinted at a possible appeal. They were still fighting, still hoping to clear her name. But deep down, everyone knew. It was over. The bigger picture, however, was scarier. What did this mean for royal accountability? Would future royals also be dragged to court if they messed up? Was this the beginning of the end for the British monarchy? People around the world were watching, waiting, wondering what would happen next. The courtroom may have gone silent, but the questions still remain. What happens next? Will Queen Camilla recover from this shocking moment? And most importantly, what does this sentence mean for the future? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Make sure to stay updated because there's more to uncover. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
I love my father, I love my brother, I love my family. I will always do. Nothing of what I've done in this book or otherwise has ever been any intention to harm them.
For years, Prince Harry has been a part of some of the biggest royal stories. But there's one part of his life that he kept hidden away until now. Prince Harry has just shared why he had to keep his sister a secret, and the reason behind it is shocking. What's even more surprising is how this secret was kept for so long, despite all the cameras and attention on his family. People always wondered about Harry's relationship with his family, but no one could have guessed this hidden truth. It's a story that reveals just how complicated life can be inside the royal world, and how sometimes, even the smallest things can become huge secrets. What happened that made Prince Harry feel like he had no choice but to keep his sister out of the public eye? What does this mean for everything we thought we knew about him and the royal family? The answers are finally here, and they could change everything. The secret sister Prince Harry has always been a figure who has caught the attention of the world. From his royal duties to his departure from the royal family, every part of his life seems to make headlines. But recently, a surprising claim has come to light: the revelation of a secret sister. This is not just another royal gossip or media rumor. This is something that has raised eyebrows, with some even questioning why Prince Harry kept this part of his life hidden for so long. The claim about Prince Harry's secret sister became public knowledge in the weeks leading up to the release of Harry's memoir, Spare. As the memoir gave readers an inside look into his life, many were shocked to hear about this hidden family member. The details of her identity were still unclear for some time, with some speculating about who she might be. Was she a child from a past relationship? Was she someone born into the royal family, but kept out of the public eye? The mystery surrounding this sister stirred up media frenzy, leaving many wondering what the real story was. Different media outlets quickly jumped on the story, each offering their take. Some reported that Prince Harry had a sister, born from a different relationship, while others hinted at the possibility of an adopted sibling. However, the name and full background of this sister have yet to be fully revealed. While some royal insiders claim to know more, it remains largely speculative. What we do know is that Harry's sister is a part of his life that he's kept hidden from the public for reasons that seem to go beyond mere privacy. Family dynamics. Where does she fit in the royal family? Now you might wonder, why keep a sister a secret? How does this secret sibling fit into the royal family's complicated structure? In the grand scheme of things, the British royal family is one of the most famous families in the world. Every member of the royal family plays a role, whether it's attending official events, charity work, or even handling their public image. A secret sibling could cause an unexpected ripple in the carefully orchestrated royal family dynamics. Imagine being part of a family where every little detail about your life is scrutinized. Now add to that a sibling who has never been publicly acknowledged. How would this unknown family member fit into the picture? Would they have their own role, or would they complicate things even further? These are the kinds of questions that might have weighed on Harry's mind as he made the decision to keep his sister a secret. One possibility could be that she simply didn't fit into the image the royal family wanted to project. Royals are often expected to have picture-perfect lives, with no room for messy or complicated situations. If this secret sister's background didn't match the royal family's carefully crafted narrative, it could have been easier for Harry to keep her hidden. Why keep her a secret? Royal family secrets and scandals. For centuries, the royal family has been known for keeping secrets. Some of these secrets are small, while others are more explosive. Take Princess Margaret's love life, for example. For years, it was kept a secret that she had a romantic relationship with a man named Peter Townsend, a man who was not acceptable in royal circles due to his divorce. This relationship was kept under wraps, and it caused quite a stir when it was eventually revealed to the public. Another example is King Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. This decision shocked the royal family and the public, and led to a significant shift in royal history. These examples show that the royal family has a long history of keeping scandals and personal matters hidden from the world. Prince Harry is no stranger to this either. As someone who has dealt with intense media scrutiny throughout his life, it's possible that he felt it was better to keep his sister hidden from the public. The last thing Harry would want is to add another layer of drama to an already complex family situation. After all, his life has already been filled with media chaos and family tension, so it makes sense that he would want to protect his sister from the same spotlight. Personal reasons for secrecy. But there's more to it than just controlling the media narrative. Prince Harry's own personal motivations could have played a huge role in his decision to keep his sister a secret. Harry has always had a complicated relationship with the royal family, and revealing a secret sibling could have caused even more tension. After all, his relationship with other family members, especially his brother Prince William, has been strained at times. Adding another secret to the mix might have made things more difficult. On top of that, Harry has always had a deep sense of responsibility towards his family. He's been very open about his struggles with mental health, particularly after the death of his mother, Princess Diana. Having a hidden sibling could have added another layer of emotional complexity to an already difficult situation. Perhaps Harry didn't want to burden himself, or his sister, with the emotional weight of revealing a family secret that might not have been well received by the public. Harry's struggles with mental health. It's well known that Prince Harry has struggled with mental health issues over the years. His grief over losing his mother at such a young age has been well documented. It's also clear that the pressure of living in the public eye, especially as a royal, has taken its toll on him. The media has often been unkind, and it's no secret that Harry has had a rocky relationship with the press. The idea of keeping a secret sibling hidden from the world could have been part of his way of coping with this intense pressure. Harry has spoken openly about how his family's expectations and public scrutiny have affected his mental health. In his memoir, Spare, he discusses how he struggled with feelings of inadequacy and how he used various coping mechanisms to deal with the stress. Having a secret sibling, who could potentially be the subject of more media attacks, would only have added to this emotional burden. Impact on family relationships. Keeping a secret like this would have undoubtedly affected Harry's relationships within the royal family. His brother, Prince William, has often been seen as the more traditional, reserved member of the royal family, while Harry has taken a more unconventional route. If the secret sister were to have been revealed, it might have complicated things further, adding yet another layer of complexity to the royal family's already fraught relationships. Harry's relationship with his father, King Charles III, could have also been impacted. The royal family as a whole tends to maintain a strict public image. Any deviation from that image can lead to conflict or tension. Keeping a secret sibling could have been a way for Harry to protect his family, but it could have also made things more difficult on a personal level. Whether or not his family knew about the sister, revealing her to the world would have been a significant move. It's also worth considering how Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle fits into this story. Meghan has been vocal about her desire for privacy and the challenges of living under the public microscope. It's possible that Harry's decision to keep his sister hidden was part of their shared desire for privacy and a life away from the media circus. After all, revealing yet another family secret would only bring more attention to their already high-profile lives. Will the sister ever be revealed? So, what happens next? Will Prince Harry ever fully reveal the truth about his secret sister? Or will she remain a shadow in his life? The mystery surrounding this sibling has sparked countless theories, but the truth may never come to light. Prince Harry has always been careful about what he shares with the public, and it's likely that he will continue to protect his family's privacy in the future. If the sister were to be revealed, it would likely come with significant consequences, both personally and professionally. The media would undoubtedly make her the center of attention, and she could face intense scrutiny. Whether or not Harry chooses to reveal her identity may depend on how much he feels he can protect her from the media's harsh spotlight. Harry's path forward. Looking ahead, Harry seems to be focused on his future. He's dedicated himself to charity work, mental health advocacy, and building a new life outside the royal family. The revelation of a secret sister, while significant, may not be a major part of his future. It's possible that he will continue to keep his family's secrets private as he moves forward with his own path. As Harry continues to step further away from the royal spotlight, the public's perception of him will evolve. Whether or not his secret sister is ever revealed, the growing distance between Harry and the royal family will continue to shape his narrative. It's clear that Harry is focused on building a life that aligns with his values, and whether or not his sister plays a role in that future remains to be seen. The mystery of Prince Harry's secret sister may remain just that, a mystery. But whatever the truth is, it's likely that Harry will continue to prioritize his family's well-being and privacy over everything else. The truth behind Prince Harry's secret is out, and it's clear that life in the royal family is even more complicated than we ever imagined. But what does this revelation mean for the future of the monarchy? The story doesn't end here. There's still so much to uncover. If you want to stay up to date with more shocking royal revelations, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single update. Thanks for watching.